Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Future of Retirement. I'm glad you're here because today I want to discuss the top 5 regrets that retirees have most often. If you could sit down with 100 retirees and ask them one question, what would you do differently? What do you think they'd say? Most people, I think, assume the biggest regrets are about money, not saving enough, spending too much, and sure, that's a big part of it. But when you actually look at the data, and I've spent the last week or two doing exactly that, the regrets go a lot deeper than just the 401k balance. A new study from Nationwide, released just this year, found that 55% of recent retirees have regrets about how they prepared for retirement, more than half. And Transamerica's latest survey puts it even higher, more like around 78% of retirees say they've changed something about how they approach their retirement years. But here's what I think's the most interesting part. The biggest regrets aren't always the ones you'd expect. And if you understand those now, before you're looking back, you can avoid almost all of them. Today, I want to walk through the 5 retirement regrets that real retirees carry with them. Not theories or guesses, actual data from people who've already crossed the bridge. And my hope is that by the time we're done, you'll have a much clearer picture of what actually matters. So let's get started. Regret number 1, I didn't save enough. All right, let's start with the obvious one, because that's the number 1 regret retirees is not saving enough. But the scale of it is what I think catches people off guard. The Transamerica Retirement Survey, this is the one most comprehensive studies out there, found 76% of retirees wish they had saved more consistently, 3 out of 4 people. And here's the part that hit me. Excluding home equity, only about 13% of retirees have around $1 million or more saved. Meanwhile, 37% of retirees have $50,000 or less total. That's for a retirement that could last 30 years. Now you might be thinking, well, I've been saving, I think I'm probably fine. Maybe you are. But the real lessons from the data isn't just about the dollar amount, it's about consistency. Retirees who expressed the fewest regrets weren't necessarily the wealthiest. They were ones who started early and stayed consistent, even if the amounts were small. The problem, of course, is that most people don't get serious about retirement saving until they're in their 50s or even 60s. By then, you've lost decades of compounding. Life can come at you hard sometimes. As one financial planner put it, saving more is still one of the highest impact moves that you can make, even if you feel like you're behind. And that's worth sitting in for a second. Even if you're behind, a lot of people are, the best thing you can do right now is start saving more. Here's where it gets more interesting, because not saving enough isn't really the regret people feel most deeply. It's what happens because of it. Regret number 2, I claimed Social Security way too early. This is the one I think catches most people by surprise. And it makes sense when you connect it to the first regret. If you haven't saved enough money, you feel pressure to claim Social Security as soon as you can. And the data shows it. The median claiming age is around 63. 29% of people claim at 62, the earliest possible age with reduced benefits. Only 19% wait till 66 or later. Now, why does that matter? Because every year you delay between 62 and 70, your benefit increases by around 8%. I'm sure you've heard that already. That's guaranteed. There's no investment in the world that's going to give you much more than 8% year after year. Think about it, right? If you claim at 62 instead of waiting till your full retirement age at 67 or so, depending on when you were born, your monthly benefit could be permanently reduced by around 30% for the rest of your life. So if you live into your 90s, a lot of people do now, that difference compounds into tens of thousands of dollars you'll never see. I think the most sobering stat is this: 58% of retirees say Social Security is their primary source of income. So, for more than half of retirees, this single decision, when to claim, is the most important financial decision they'll ever make. And yet only 33% of retirees say they have a good understanding of how Social Security actually works. The fix here is actually pretty simple. Before you claim, spend a little time with a Social Security calculator. There's a free one out there called Open Social Security. I'll put the link below. It's really well regarded. See what it recommends, even if you end up claiming early anyway, and sometimes you have no choice, of course. At least you'll know what you're going up against. Regret number 3, I retired with too much debt. This one surprised me when I saw the numbers. About half of retirees are carrying non-mortgage debt into retirement. That's credit cards, car loans, personal loans, and the median retired income is about $55,000 a year. Now, debt is stressful at any age of life, but when you're working, you have options. You can pick up extra hours, you can job hop for a raise, but when the paycheck stops, those options shrink pretty fast. The survey data bears this out. 30% of retirees say they're just getting by to cover basic living expenses. And another 30% are actively prioritizing credit card payments in retirement. Think about that. Nearly 1 in 3 retirees spending their retirement years paying off yesterday's purchases. I think the real danger with retirement debt is that it creates a vicious cycle. You have less flexibility in your budget, so when an unexpected expense hits, like a car repair or medical bill, it goes right on the credit card, right? Then the interest compounds. Then you're taking larger withdrawals from your retirement accounts just to cover those payments. That depletes your savings even faster, which makes you even more vulnerable to the next unexpected expense. The takeaway here isn't complicated, but it's hard. If you're within 10 years of retirement, eliminate your high-interest debt. That should be your number one priority. Before you add another dollar to your 401k, pay off your credit cards. The interest you're paying is almost certainly higher than the return that you're earning on your 401k plan. All right, regret number 4, I didn't plan for what I'd actually do all day. Yeah, that's a big one too. Let's shift gears for a minute because the first 3 regrets are financial and they're important, but this one is one that actually hurts the most sometimes. A lot of retirees told researchers some version of the same thing. I planned my money, but I didn't plan for my time. One advisor put it this way, and I love this: when you retire, every day is Saturday. So if your weekends usually mean golf and dinner out, imagine that 7 days a week. Yeah, you can't do that. He's right. The structure you had for 40 years, the meetings, deadlines, colleagues, a sense of purpose, it all disappears on a Tuesday afternoon. Fidelity found that 2/3 of pre-retirees have never created a retirement budget. Not a financial budget, a life budget. What are you going to do? Who are you going to spend time with? What's going to get you out of bed in the morning? I've seen this play out both ways. I've seen people retire with modest savings who genuinely enjoy every single day because they have hobbies and friends and projects that really matter to them. I've also seen wealthy retirees seem to struggle because they have no sense of purpose and don't know what to do with themselves all day. The research actually backs this up. Retirees who reported the highest satisfaction aren't the ones with the biggest nest eggs. They're the ones who retired to something rather than just from something. Okay, regret number 5. I retired earlier than I planned, not in a good way. Here's the last regret, and this one's really tough. The one I think people in their 50s and 60s need to hear more clearly. Almost half of retirees say they retired earlier than they planned, and earlier doesn't mean I hit my number. It means my employer downsized, or I had a health issue, or I needed to care for a family member. In some way, it was forced. The nationwide study I mentioned earlier at the top found that about 40% of recent retirees are on track with their original budget and spending plan. And among the 55% who have regrets, The most common wish is simply, I wish I'd started saving earlier. You never know what's going to happen in life. Now, I bring this up not to scare anyone. I bring it up because I think a lot of retirement planning assumes you get to choose your timing. You pick an age, 65, 67, whatever, and you work backward from there. But the data says not how it plays out for most people. Life chooses the timing for you. So what do you do with that? You build a plan that works even if the timeline shifts. You assume your career might end 5 years earlier than you'd like and save accordingly. Keep your skills current. Consider what a phased retirement might look like. Part-time work, consulting, something that bridges the gap if you need it. The goal isn't to be pessimistic. The goal is to live your future with options. So, after those 5 regrets, let's see what we can do to maybe take some steps to help. Maybe avoid some of those things. So we covered the regrets, and I realize that can feel a little heavy. But here's the thing. Every single one of these is avoidable. Not easy, but avoidable. And I want to leave you with 4 things you can actually do this week. Number 1, run the numbers, not in your head. Actually sit down, use a retirement calculator, or talk to your financial planner. Figure out where you stand. If you're behind, don't panic. Just know the gap so you can close it. Catch-up retirements after age 50 let you put extra money in your 401k and IRA. Use those. Number 2, understand Social Security before you claim it. Spend those 15 minutes with a calculator, know your full retirement age, and understand how spousal benefits work too. This one decision could be worth tens of thousands of dollars over your retirement. Number 3, attack your debt. If you're carrying credit card balances, make sure you have a payoff plan. Cut up your cards if you have to. Every dollar of interest you're paying is another dollar that could be growing in your retirement account. And number 4, I think this is one of those just as important as financial ones. Figure out what you're going to retire to. What are you excited about? What do you want to learn? Who do you want to spend more time with? Write it down, because retirement without purpose is, it's a retirement worth having. So let's put it all together. The 5 regrets real retirees carry: not saving enough, or more accurately, not starting early enough, claiming Social Security too soon, permanently reducing your income, retiring with debt that compounds the pressure, and not planning for what to actually do with your time. Having the decision made for them, retiring earlier than they wanted to without a plan that could flex. I think the thread that runs through all these is the same. People who had the fewest regrets weren't necessarily the wealthiest. They were the ones who were intentional. They made decisions with their eyes open. They planned for the life they wanted, not just a number in their account. Retirement isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a next chapter. The question is whether you'll have regrets, whether you'll do something about them while you still can. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 5 regrets resonates most with you? If you've already retired, what would you add to the list? Your experience could genuinely help someone who's still trying to figure it out. Till next time, take care, stay curious, and keep planning for your future. Bye now.